Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 38 of my survival series. So in this episode, we're going down here. There we go. So a couple episodes back, we worked on this elevator here to get from this box storage room all the way up to the mansion. So in this episode, we're going to be focusing mainly on this box storage room. So we're going to expand it and possibly add a couple shulker box loaders for things that I have massive quantities of, such as stone. Yeah. So I'm also going to put in, hoping to put in an item request system, an item sorting system, at least for the bulk items, and a couple other things that will make this bulk storage room a lot more efficient than it currently is. So let me just pull out my chests and trap chests, and we can get to work. Okay, lots of progress has been made, so I'm currently in the process of raising the ceilings to almost 3 times more than it was before. So I've already doubled the ceiling height. I'm going to probably quadruple it by the time this is over. So still a lot of work ahead of me, but I think we got a good start here. Alright then. So this is my access hole up to that dirt platform up there so that I can nice and easily dig. Creepers have been a big problem with this, but let's at least lay out what we're going to do. So let me just gather some hoppers. Yep, I got a shulker box full of hoppers. That was many, many, many hours of mining and more mining. So I'm not sure this is going to be enough, quite honestly. But here we go. We got some chests and we got some trap chests. Let's just head over here. Okay. So here's the idea. These chests are going to go pretty much all the way up to the ceiling. So I'm going to quadruple the ceiling height. And towards the top there's going to be a sorting system which is going to sort out the items to go into the storage system. Now, not all of these items are going to be made in bulk where it would need a item sorter, but things like stone are incredibly common, so common that I already had to expand it to already unreachable heights. So, and things like gravel, also incredibly annoying. Slime balls, incredibly annoying to keep having to put in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add access to the mansion from this by way of items. So essentially, I'm going to have a massive water stream that's going to go all the way from the mansion down to this storage system. I'm going to do that once I raise these ceilings. But for now, what I want to do is create an item request system. For example, if, say, I request a ton of stone, then I simply push a button up at the top of the mansion there, and a shulker box of that item will be loaded in, or maybe just a stack. I'm not exactly sure just yet, but that's the idea anyways. So let's put all this dirt away temporarily, and we can get to work on this redstone. Now, the deposit system is going to be more often used than the request system. I totally understand that, but there are a few items that I use almost constantly. That being stone, gold, carrots, plus I tend to use a lot of redstone. That's kind of what I specialize in. Plus, what else? Oh, wood. I use an awful lot of that. I'm going to be taking wood from the dark oak chest because at the moment that has the most, but I'm thinking I'll put up a system where I can rewire it whenever I want to. I'm probably not going to have a storage system dedicated to shulker shells, even though I use those quite often. But what else do I use often? Let's see. Ah, glowstone. Glowstone and torches. I think that will do for now. So we just gotta have buttons, just like so. Now, yes, I went overkill with the buttons. So here's the idea. In order to really make that efficient, I think it'd be more efficient and it'd be better to encode my request in the form of an item, which that can be done with droppers. So let's see, got some iron nuggets. What do I have here? 6. Looks like I have 7 things that I can request. I'll add an 8th thing just to make this even, and so I can use all my iron nuggets. Let's see, what else do I use super often? Glass. There we go. Right, so now I'm just gonna rename these iron nuggets based on the fact that I use those items often. And I'm actually gonna rename a bunch of those. I could use gold nuggets now that I'm thinking. In fact, gold nuggets would be much better, because I have access to infinite numbers of those. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Well, shoot, I broke the anvil. Time to replace it. And man, anvils are expensive. I really do need to get to work on an iron farm. That would be an amazing thing, especially given how much iron I use all the time. Okay, I'm not going to put all these stacks of items into the droppers because in order to encode something, you also need to decode it. So that's what I'm going to do down in the storage system. So for now, let's just place in these droppers here. Okay, looks like it ends there. So now we can place... Nope, actually, that might work. It really doesn't matter which way these... Well, it kind of does matter, but the droppers are just going to funnel into one water stream that's just going to transport those items all the way down to the storage system, where they can be sorted based on their name, and that's why I renamed these items, so that is actually possible to do. And from there, the request can be decoded, and essentially the item that I request will come up to the main floor here. That'll save me a lot of time going back and forth to the bulk storage system, so let's put the system in. Wow, what is the chance of that? Awesome. Okay, this is right next to the storage system, which is pretty awesome. So, I want the items to go traveling a little bit over here. So one thing we have to combat when we're transporting items in their item form. Whoops, ouch. I totally should have seen that coming. But one big challenge with transporting items in their item form is that they will despawn after 5 minutes of existence. 5 real-life minutes, which is good. Better than 5 in-game minutes, because that would just be like 3 seconds. So, because of this, the items can really only travel so far, which means they will need to travel quickly. And to do that, I plan to use ice. So, here we go. Let's just mark where the tunnel needs to go. And this cave right here can serve as the place where I can put all the redstone to actually make this item request system work. here we go. Let's get building. Okay, the tunnel broke through, so let's now get the water stream in and test and see if the items will even make it out here. Here we go. Let's place in the packed ice underneath where the items are gonna be flowing. Right here. This way they travel nice and quickly. And then we place in the water. Okay, it goes down the chute here. So one thing I realized is that expanding the ceilings to whatever 4 times the height than they currently are, it's going to be rather difficult to do that when the water stream is going to be in the way of that. So we're actually going to make the stream curve a little and basically get it out of the way of the storage system before it goes down this super long chute. I think that's a deep enough hole. So according to my camera account, we're actually directly in line with the storage system at the moment. So we're pretty much level with it, which is good because we can clear out a little area for us to use as a workspace to make the item decoder. This is certainly much, and in fact, here it is. So beautiful. We can use this as a work spot for the decoder. So let's just get the water stream over, and we can figure out the rest from there. So with 8 items that are being transported and requested, at least so far, what I'm thinking of doing is setting up a massive packed ice kind of track that goes all the way around the storage system on the bottom part for items that represent the items that I request. So, for example, if I say I want glowstone, then I push the button at the mansion, and it will come down through here, along here, and be sorted out the fact that I want glowstone, at which point there will be a hopper down there in the part with the glowstone where items can come through that hopper, and I can get the items that I request. So that's the plan anyways. We'll see how well that works out. So right now you're probably asking, how in the world am I supposed to get the items that I request up to the mansion? The way I'm going to do that is using essentially an item elevator that starts right here. So let me real quick save these coordinates actually. I can temporarily save them in the chat pod just like so. Now just as long as I don't clear the chat, I'm good. So from there, this can just come up like this, and then the glass item elevator can start from there. I think it'll be a nice little centerpiece, especially since I can decorate this item elevator however I want. And also, even though these sorts of elevators are technically not entirely lossless, I really don't care about that. Because the whole point of the bulk storage system is that I have gargantuan amounts of these items, so it really doesn't matter. Here we go. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. So the ceiling is about 4 times larger than it used to be. And now we can finally begin putting in these chests, plus employ the shulker box full of hoppers. I'm going to need a lot more chests than this. So I'm hoping to expand these chests pretty much all the way up to the ceiling, and except for about 5 blocks where we're going to put in a sorting system for this bulk storage room. Okay, and with these last few chests, we can finally finish this thing off. So that's a trap chest, so we need a normal chest. By the way, I hope you enjoyed the time lapse, and as you can see, this place got quite laggy really quickly. And in fact, right now, it is incredibly laggy. Like I'm getting the single digits of FPS, which that's actually it is a problem for being up this high, especially looking down like this. But from the ground here, from the ground, it's really not that bad. I can still navigate the area, but yeah, trying to use this elevator is practically impossible. So may need another. I'm not sure what exactly to do or what's causing the lag, but I'm hoping it's not the chests and plus the hoppers, because if that's the case, then I just don't know what to do. So yeah, this place looks insane. So I think now it's time to make this thing functional. So I used up the entire shulker box of hoppers, and plus a few others, plus a few more. So yeah, that's quite insane. And now I think it's time to implement the sorting system so that everything can be sorted out and put away. So we have a chest system for unstackable items and items that were not sorted, which that's in the wrong spot. Here we go. So I kind of gave up on the idea of having an item request system from the mansion because it's going to end up getting in the way of something else I was intending to put in. That being the ability to deposit items into this place. So I was hoping to maybe use this item elevator, perhaps to connect up to the center and have all the items get sorted out from the center column here. Excuse me. I think that'd be pretty cool. So let's get to putting in the sorting system here. And in order to do that, we're going to need a lot of this. Here we go. Okay, so lots of jump cuts lately. So I have the ice stream going all around, and now we just got to connect this glass item elevator up to the beginning of the ice stream, and that is where we're going to get all the items that are going to come through the dropper below this glass chute. Are all just going to go along this ice highway and ice water stream, what will eventually be a water stream, and all the items will just be sorted out wherever they can, and wherever they cannot be sorted, they will end up in that far chest over there, as will all the unstackable items. So some of these storage systems I have for unstackable items, such as enchanted books, bows, fishing rods, boots. Those are all unstackable, and they cannot be sorted. So I'm going to put in separate item elevators for each of those. So the non-stackable chest, that's simply going to be storing things like boots and water bottles that I collect from the fish farm. And that's another really neat thing. I can connect all the farms to this bulk storage room finally. So with all that in mind, I can once that is put in, this bulk storage room will be complete. So I'm going to try to avoid another time lapse because those take up a lot of storage space. So also I don't want this to turn into episode 29 where I had a time lapse every 5 minutes. That got very annoying, mainly to edit, probably annoying to view too. So here we go. We're at the top, and now we can just put the water stream in. Here we go. A lot of progress later, I now have a line of droppers which all feed in just a block past all these chests, which currently I can't really get access to. But now what I have to do is find a way to power all of these droppers and hopefully not cause too much lag. So here's the idea that I came up with for how I could do such a thing. Thinking using observers. And even though that would make this thing expensive, it could certainly work. So if I have some, say, diorite, then it'll start spitting those out, just like that. If I have more than that, it'll spit these blocks out nice and quickly. Because of this whole thing where the observers, if they face each other, they basically create a rapid fire clock. And the best part is, it is tileable. So the different droppers won't be mixing in with each other, which would cause, and if they did mix in with each other, that would cause problems, especially with lag, because this place is lagging enough as it is. That's one major problem with pretty much every other kind of storage system out there. The bulk storage system is that occasionally you just have to leave the system running with droppers clicking on and off constantly. But this design, I'm hoping, does not need that. So I just gotta get to work and install this on every single dropper. Okay, I have the system tiled, so now I just gotta place this glass so that way all the items that do come to the system can actually, well, go up the elevator. So one thing I'm going to have to do is make sure that the items actually make it through into the section above, which I still also need to put in a input from these droppers into the corresponding chests over here. So still got plenty of work ahead of me, but here we go. Probably not going to do another time lapse, but just wanted to give you a quick update. So here I am in my camera account, just taking a look at all the progress that's been made. So I have all of the auto-firing circuits in place, I have all the droppers in place, and this place is even laggier than it was. Maybe it isn't. It's kind of hard to tell because it's just lots of lag, but we made some progress here. So we have all of this complete, and now I'm guessing this will look a little bit cheaty, but I have the ability, I'm going to use it. I will use my camera account to tell if the glass pillar, if the stone actually goes all the way to the top of these chests, where I can just get some hoppers and feed them straight into the top chest. Now, again, it's probably going to look a little bit cheaty, but it's really the only way I can feasibly do this without going crazy. So if it doesn't go up all the way, like over here, where the items would end up popping up on the ground over here, then I can fill that part in with glass, and same with here. So that is the plan, at least for now. And then we can put in a big test, and I did not put in droppers over here because there's really no point, because anything that's unstackable will be sorted out anyway. Anything that is not stackable not sorted will simply not be able to be sorted. At which point, I just got to come in and drop whatever respective items need to go into these hoppers, and they should automatically go into the column of chests, bypassing the sorters entirely, which would allow me to do things like still put in massive amounts of carpets, massive amounts of terracotta, massive amounts of banners, things like that, as well as massive amounts of doors and all the different kinds of wood. So yeah, these sorters really only exist for items where I have such a huge amount of that it's actually worthwhile to sort them out, such as stone, the most common material I currently have. So I did kind of have to interrupt in the slime farm, which is not too big of a deal except for this column here, which I used to place in one of the hopper lines, the biggest trouble came in with one of my mining tunnels. So let me just show you. Whoops, too far. So this is the minecart track that takes me to the actual mining tunnels, and doesn't look like I have anything worthwhile here. But over here, this is where the hopper lines for the storage system intersect, and I had to dig down a little bit. So that's gonna be a little bit of a pain trying to gain access back to that tunnel, but it's not too big of a deal. Anyway, I'm blabbering at this point, so let's get to work. This is really the best view of all the work that I've been doing for the last 2 hours. So here we go. We have all the systems to auto-dispense the items. All of those systems are in place. All the glass chutes are in place to guide all the items up to these hoppers, which will deposit the items straight into their respective chests. So the only thing that's left to do is to break it. That meaning take it for a spin. And I suppose the best way to take it for a spin is to, it looks like there's a skeleton up here. The best way to take it for a spin is to just start dumping items into these hoppers that I collected from digging this place out and placing in all the hoppers. Just dump all the items into their respective chests and see how they sort out. Okay, time to take this thing out for a spin. So, the glass here, I have a whole bunch of leftover glass. So, let's just dump that right in here. Might as well dump some more. Okay. Ooh, one thing I want to test. I'm wondering if I can use shulker boxes and just have a shulker box full of whatever and be able to load that into the system. Oops. Like so. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, what if I turn this... Uh-oh. Losing hoppers. That's not good. Okay. So, grab the shulker box. There we go. Okay. So, an upwards facing shulker box is not going to work. So, I wonder, will a sideways shulker box still work? So, let's see. Here it is. And this is the glass. Okay. That's quite noisy, but if this sorting system actually works and this storage system works, then I'll bear the noise. So, the stone that I have just gargantuan quantities of, and I always have way too much stone. Let's just plop that in. Let's see. As for all of this, these were pieces of a mine shaft that I had to dig out in order to make way for the glass item elevators. Dump some stuff in there. Okay. Dump some fences in there, since the corners are kind of weird in that way. We got rails in here. Okay, how's this doing? Oh, doing great. There's still 3 glass in here, though. It's kind of worrying me. And there's glass spilling into the other chests. That's weird. Wonder why it's doing that. Okay, how's the stone doing? Is it also spilling over into the other? Yeah, it's spilling over. That's not good. Weird. But you know what? It works. I finally have a place where I can just pack up a shulker box full of stone or whatever and just plop it on the hopper and have it automatically put into the bulk storage system. So, with this in mind, I now have a functioning, efficient bulk storage system. something I've been missing for a very long time, for just too long. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.